So I've just finished watching the new 4K transfer of the Terminator, the 1984 original movie. And I thought I would share my thoughts with you on the transfer itself and the film, a sort of retro review, if you will, and a little bit of my history with the movie. So let's get into this video, shall we? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my review for this 4K new release of the Terminator. Now, what I will say is that during this video, I will put up some clips of the film that I have recorded from the TV, so you can see how it looks. And I'm going to make this the first of a franchise of reviews. I'm going to revisit all of the Terminator films over the next few weeks and review them for you, and then culminate in a ranking of the Terminator series. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments down below. So the Terminator came out in 1984, 40 years ago now. I was about 8 when this movie came out. So I was quite young when I first saw this film, and I was taken by it. I was taken by this film. I don't know how old I was when I saw it, but I had older brothers. They used to get pirates and things like that. So inevitably, I saw it at a very young age. And the film used to scare the crap out of me back then. About the age of 10 or whatever I was. Like I said, I was 8 when it came out. I may have seen it at 8. I'm not sure. Just the idea of this unstoppable robot that will come after you no matter what. It won't stop, it won't sleep. There's something inherently quite scary about that, especially as a child. Not only that, the glowing red eyes. Whenever I'd go to bed at night and the TV in the room was on standby, and all you had was a red dot, my mind would run rampant. It was, you know, this film was effective. It's a great movie, and I do love it. So for it to get a 4K release is fantastic. So I sat down, I watched this 4K. Now, I'm not going to go into the story other than you know what it's about. A robot sent from the future, followed by a human from the future. The robot is there to kill the mother of the savior of the human race there in the future, and the human has come back to prevent that from happening. And obviously, spoiler, he's the father of the unborn child that's yet to be conceived, and this sort of a thing. And yeah, so it's kind of like a robotic slasher sort of a movie, quite low budget, but you know. So anyway, so obviously there's a lot of controversy over Terminator 2 and James Cameron's 4Ks, but this one here, first of all, initially, what do I think of the 4K transfer? So I put it on, I started watching it. I noticed that there was a very fine element of grain in some scenes. Now, I'm not a grain lover. I don't particularly like grain, especially when it's very heavy and intrusive. So it's nice to say that on this one, it is very light on the grain. It's subtle. It's very subtle. The colours are very vibrant. I mean, you can see that just from the clips that I'll be putting up, or am putting up for the purposes of this review. The colours are all there. It's nice, it's lovely. Sound wise, obviously you've got the 2 sound options. You've got the new sound and you've got the DTS MA 2.0 mono. Now, I decided to watch this film in that. I did play some of it in the other sound format, the newer sound format, and the film sounds great. Sounds fantastic, but I wanted to watch it in its original so that I could hear the gunshots for how they really sounded back in the day, to give me that experience that I used to have when I watched this film the first few times around, or the early days around. And so all I can say is that this film looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic, it's the best that it has ever been. That goes without saying. It really is. It's not like waxy like some of the other 4Ks that you get, and you know, Terminator 2, the waxiness on that, it's not like that. It's a really nice vibrant transfer. The darks are deep, and all that sort of a thing. It's a really good copy. So the film itself, The Terminator. So like I said, you know, obviously this is going to be a glowing review for this movie because I do love the film. I think it's very tight on its story. So every aspect of this film, I really enjoy every aspect of this movie. Now, like I said, it is a cheaper film, obviously, than the second Terminator film, which had a budget probably 10 times this or more. I'd say more even. But what this film does is, it delivers a very tight story. It doesn't bore in its runtime of about 1 hour and 48 minutes. It's got some fantastic special effects. Yes, I know there's people knock the bits where it's the robotic Arnie face and this sort of a thing. But come on, this film was made 40 years ago. You know, and there's the stop motion bits and all that. It's still a fantastic film, and I love this film. There's not much I can really... It's glowing review. Everything is positive. Right, the one thing I'll say about this transfer, and I wish they'd done it, is this damn thing here. The wire where the truck, before the truck explosion or during the truck explosion, is visible, that's pulling this truck along. They haven't taken it out. I'd like to see them just done a little bit of work on that and maybe just made that disappear with a little bit of movie magic. But alas, we can't have it all. So we've got a fantastic film that, you know, it's very suspenseful, obviously. It's fast-paced. Stan Winston's puppetry is top notch at the end. The stuff at the end with the Terminator in the warehouse is visceral. It's there. It feels real because it is real. It's truly a masterpiece of filmmaking, this movie, and one of my favorite franchises, I would say, even with the bad films in it. But like I said, we will come to them. We will talk about them, and I will give you a ranking. It's a great film, great transfer, well worth the upgrade if you were wondering. Go for it, check it out. Let me know your thoughts on it. If you've checked it out already, if you're getting it, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you for Terminator 2, yeah?